Here's a cheap, easy Halloween decor DIY for you. I took some empty liquor bottles, embellished them, and made these spooky, witchy looking bottles. For this one, I just took a big, clear wine bottle, and then I put nail polish inside, just in different colors that I already had on hand, just to kind of make it look like there was kind of some kind of iridescent creepy kind of stuff in there. And you'll see like the direction that I went with that as I went on. I just put some inside and then I put some on the outside, kind of swirled it around. And it was warm that day, so I let it out in the sun to dry. But you could also take a hair dryer, or if you have like a heat gun, you could put it on this and kind of like make it dry faster, but just make sure you have proper ventilation happening, or you do it outside. Um, So here you can just see it kind of oozing down the side of the bottle, and that's what I was going for, that oozy, witchy kind of look. And you'll see the printout, the PDF that I printed out. I downloaded it from Etsy, and I'll include a link um, to their Etsy shop in the description, but it kind of like went with what the label said. It was like restless spirits, grave matter brew, and I kind of liked that iridescent, almost kind of spirit looking um, substance inside of this bottle. So here I didn't have any color ink, and I'm super cheap, so I just used some crayola markers in different colors to just kind of color over it. And then to make it look more spooky and weird, I burned the edges of this, and like, yeah, I don't recommend you doing it this way at all. You should be doing it on a fire safe substance and under responsible adult supervision, but that's how I made it look. I thought it looked kind of cool. This would work for like a pirate kind of thing too. And then I had some corks. The regular wine cork wasn't very impressive, so I had the champagne cork, and then I just dangerously chopped it down with a steak knife to like make it just fit in there. I wanted like a more exaggerated look, and then I kind of grunged it up a little bit. But you'll see here I'm using this dollar store cutting board. I do a lot of crafts on these, and I highly recommend them. You get like three for $1 or three for a couple bucks. They're really great, and you can clean them off really easily too. And then I just use whatever black paint I had. I had some like chalkboard paint, I think, and I used just a chip brush. You want just like a grungy, grody brush for this. You know, it doesn't matter what it looks like or what size it is, just to kind of like dry brush some grime and Halloweeniness on there. I just tried to make it look old and weird. And then I took some of the corresponding nail polish, just stuck it on the outside. And you'll see that's what I'm doing here. Just to kind of bring the colors from inside the bottle onto the cork. And then I also printed a label that was like a skinny label from this set that I downloaded, and I use that kind of as like the seal, like the paper seal that you'll see on bottles a lot. And I'm pretty happy with the way that that turned out. I ended up doing 2 bottles in this video, you'll see, and I'm really pretty happy with um, the way that label worked out. It was really nice, actually. I thought it looked kind of cool. So I sped this up. I kind of just was going at my own pace, hanging out, crafting, but then I used ModPodge to attach this label to the outside of the bottle. You could use whatever you have that is going to dry clear. I mean, if you have even just craft glue or a glue stick, you could do that. But I wanted the ModPodge because I wanted it to kind of be sealed. And then I have this Irish cream bottle left over from St. Patrick's Day. This one is actually St. Brendan's brand. It's a really good brand, by the way. But I thought this looked really cool with this particular printout. And I just colored that kind of really quickly. And that's the label that I end up using for the seal on the top. So for this one, I use this turf. It's like a flocking that people use that make train sets or miniatures. And you can find it online. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it from various craft stores if you're in the hobby section, like at Hobby Lobby, where the model cars are. And I use that with some Mod Podge, and I just glom it on there, and then the Mod Podge dries clear, and it just looks like this thing is covered in like, I don't know, moss or goo or whatever. And a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. I've had this literally since like 2009, and I still have half a bag of it left. So it's really cool for making things look mossy or aged. And so yeah, just like basically this was my quote unquote technique. I just glob a bunch of glue in the middle of a glob of the stuff with that same chip brush that I've used for 5 other things before this. And once again, why I'm using that cutting board, because otherwise this would just be my countertop. And I was just like glopping it on. I mean, I don't really know how, there's no other professional way of putting it. Glop. Goo. Just slop it on there. And you can kind of layer it. Like I did one layer and I was like, this isn't enough. So I needed more. I just wanted to go over the top. And when you're doing decorations, that's a really good idea, is just go over the top. Like go for it. Like over the top. Like it's Halloween. Like we're not trying to, we're not doing it lightly. We want to really make the effect visually. You want to see it when you look at it. You want to see the goo and the grime. And this person, I can't think right off the top of my head. I'm not that prepared. But like I said, I'll have the link in the description for this person's Etsy. But they had some really cool labels. And I just printed, they were colored way better than this. Like, I printed them black and white and colored them myself because I didn't have any. So their stuff is actually really colored really cool. I think these were like green and black. They were really neat. So that's what this one came out like, and I put a ton of it on the top because I'm going to put like some twine and stuff around it. And I had just this random embellishment that I'm going to put on there, kind of like a wax seal. And once again, like I think this would be really great as a pirate kind of theme thing too. And then I had this random candle that I had gotten from, I think, Walmart. Yeah. And it was frosted. Like, this is so pretty. So I cleaned the remaining candle out and I put up some extra labels on there. So then this is me just kind of setting things up at the onset just to see what it would look like. And here it is in all its spooky glory. I'm really happy with the way these came out. The candle holder was just like an afterthought, but I had extra labels and it looks cool. But this bottle, the original bottle I like, but this second afterthought one that was in the Irish cream bottle, that one actually ended up being sweet. I love that one. And you can see how I did like the thing, and I added, actually on that one I added some actual moss on there. So I was really easy. I used what I had. You may not have all this stuff. That's okay. Use what you've got. It's just for fun, just to be festive and just to enjoy the Halloween and like how crazy and off the wall you can go with it. And I hope that you enjoy this. I hope that you have a safe, happy, spooky Halloween. And let me know in the comments if you make any bottles like this. Happy Halloween. So, just so you know, this is what your glue gun should look like. If it's all clean and shiny and it doesn't stick to everything, you're not doing it right. That is a professional glue gun. That is crafting wizardry. You've passed the test. And that's that brush after I was done with it. Now it's okay to either use it for something else or throw it away. This is how I achieved that smoke effect. I put the bottles on top of my stove, turned on the exhaust fan, then lit a cone incense. And then I also lit a candle in that candle holder. And the exhaust just pulled the smoke up, and it made like a really cool effect. And then I just hung something in the background to kind of hide the fact that it was on my stove.